What's up? Today I've got a new Jinhao. Jinhao Tiandao, 1935, which is interesting. Is for a start, seems to be original and a bit innovative. Now, I don't know if that's true or this is copied off something I've never ever seen before, or whether it's brought aspects of other things together which I'm not aware of. So, but to me, looks a bit different, which is interesting. Just happened to be browsing along on AliExpress, as I do sometimes. Saw this, thought, oh, that's different. I'll pick that up and see what's what about it. I'm going to start off with the price, as soon as it's in my head, which was under £10, including postage, from China to the UK. So that's not bad for a start. I'd assumed a few bits and bobs because I didn't bother reading the listing that closely for that price. So I had assumed it would be like a number 6 nib, kind of normal sizings and stuff like that. It is in fact a larger pen with a number 8 nib, which was a pleasant surprise to me. I know these things are popular, but not always amongst everyone, so something to be aware of. I'm sure listings would say that if you actually bothered to read them properly, which I hadn't. So there you go. Should we look at the pen? Okay then. So we've obviously got a transparent barrel here, so demonstrator-esque. Red faux blind cap, which is not a blind cap, which I'll come back to. Cap band says Jinhao Tiandao, number 1935. Now, unlike me, I actually did a bit of research. When I say a bit, I mean I googled it up for about 3 minutes, right? Because I was curious about the name. So Tiandao, according to the one page I looked at, is like a reference to a way of life or philosophy and can translate roughly as way of heaven. So there you go. Now, that might be completely inaccurate to the purpose of this. Don't know. That's what I got in my 3 minutes worth of research, right? I'm not sure what the guitar clip has to do with that. Stairway to heaven? Don't know. Possible. Unlikely. Yes, so you've got a guitar clip, which is chunky, stiff, but usable, not stupid stiff, you know? Yeah. Kind of quite a chunky guitar there. Then you've got the finial up here, which has like the Chinese star, like the star off the flag of China. I presume it's in reference to that. Again, quick Google for any other purpose of Star of China beyond like the really blindingly obvious like that. And I presume it's not the Star of China restaurant in Ramsgate, which was my top result. So I'm assuming it's a star off the flag there. But yeah, that's kind of, so you've got the transparent kind of cap top, finial top, and then it's kind of like in a little display case within that. So it's interesting. Yeah, clip ring there. Yeah. So there's a bit going on. It's a bit going on. Interesting. Anyway, screw cap unscrews in 1.25. Yeah. To reveal a red section, red themed pen this, which is similar to the X159 or the 1919, etc. sections. So it's that section which houses the big converter, which I will come to, and the number 8 nib. You can get the big converter in a number 6 nib in the 9016, but anyway. And you've got a sword motifed nib here with Jinhao medium in this case, and yeah, like a bi-coloured sword motif going on there. Again, interesting. Now, don't know what that's about, because I couldn't be bothered. quite frankly, after my limited results and stuff like that. I don't have a lot of time, you see. It's not that I'm lazy, it's a little bit that I'm lazy, it is. But it's not that I'm completely lazy, it's I don't have a lot of time and I have to squeeze these in. So yeah, you've got that number 8 nib, but with a different engraving on there than you might see on the other underneath number 8 nibs. You've got your plastic feed. You've got the big capacity converter, which you might see on, as I say, the 9016 or the 1919, and I'm sure others coming soon. There have been rattle issues with some of them. This one's good. Friction fit converter, metal barrel threads there with plastic going in. I will say that they work well, and you've got an O-ring up there to cushion that closure. Yeah, I will say I did a video relatively recently upon like kind of my changing tastes in demonstrator pens, and I mentioned within that I'm still not mad on cartridge converter demonstrators, and I referenced a 1919 as kind of an exception because of the large converter, and it makes it almost fills the whole barrel. So sorry, I'm a bit dusty. It almost fills the whole barrel, so it does give that impression more of like a piston filler, like handily enough, like a TWSBI Eco. Not quite the same, but I like it more than I would a normal sized converter in a demonstrator barrel. Did any of that make sense? Hopefully so. Yeah, so that's that. Shall we look at some sizes? As I say, I'm rushing a bit today. I haven't got a lot of time, so I haven't done the measurements yet. What I'll do is I will do that and put that in the description, I promise. Yeah, let's look at some sizes. I'm just going to angle down, excuse me. So again, slightly different just with the pen wrist today. I'm going to go through these one by one. So you've got the aforementioned TWSBI Eco there just as a kind of recognisable reference. And then if we put that alongside the Jinhao X159, so you can see they're similar length. This is obviously flat topped, so sometimes when you get similar length of a certain model, that's going to come in a little bit shorter, but they're pretty much level in terms of length, and girth is comparable. Then you've got the 1919, so again length about the same. You'd probably give the girth to the 1919, but this is a chunky pen, the Tiandao, but in that ballpark. And I've just got also here a Wingsung 630 flat top, just for that kind of flat top reference, because my immediate thought was it's of that similar kind of thing, but this is in fact smaller. Not too much smaller in the girth, but smaller in the length there. Yeah, let's see how it writes, shall we? Here we have some Clairefontaine 90 GSM paper. We have a Jinhao Tiandao. Hope I got that right. I think I have. 1935. I don't think that's a reference to a year. I think it's just a model number. Again, could be wrong. This is a medium nib, steel number 8, Jinhao nib, and the ink is diamine, poinsettia. Which I'm very much liking as a red ink. Excuse me. Very nice. Sorry, that's not the best focus in the entire world, is it? There we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, very nice and smooth, just with a little bit of nice feedback. Not sure if you can hear that, but it's a smooth writer with a nice little bit of subtle drag, shall we say. Let's do it a bit quicker. Keeps up very, very nicely indeed. Really good flow on this. So decently wet, very decently wet, if I'm honest. That's straight out the box. Haven't done anything to it. Haven't like pushed it to get it a bit wetter or tinkered with it in any way. So this is a very good one. Obviously, hit and miss in this world of nibs and bulk manufacturing, but this one's very good. I've had with the Jinhao number 8s from time to time. I've had a couple of mediums. Most of mine are fine, which I quite like because it comes out a little bit more than possibly your average fine. Anyway, I've had a few mediums and they've not actually been the best, if I'm honest, but this one's really, really nice. So hopefully that's a step in the right direction. But I've never seen too many people complaining that the medium nibs specifically are bad, so that was probably just my bad luck. This one's very nice. I think you can get it in extra fine, fine and medium, or maybe just fine and medium with the sword motif, not sure. Generally speaking, extra fine, fine, medium with these nibs. Line variation, let's see. So standard line, marginally thinner on the cross stroke. So a little tiny bit of character there, maybe marginal, but you don't really feel that when you're writing. It doesn't feel stubby or anything. So yeah, you can push some more out of that. It's pretty stiff, but you can get this without too much effort. You wouldn't want to go beyond that. So yeah, that does give you a little bit more. Obviously puts more ink on the page as well. Very, very nice. Yeah, really good nib this. And I've had no issues with hard starting or skips or anything like that. Really well tuned nib. So what do I think of this? Well, it's very good as a pen. I'm not sure about all the gubbins, which is going to be a personal taste thing. Hang on a second. Let me really professionally chuck you in a black background because obviously it's a red pen against my red desk. So yeah, don't know what that's about. I'm sure someone will tell me who knows more than I do. Yeah, so there's a lot going on. I'm not against any of it. It's certainly going to be a talking point if you're going to whip it out in public, as it were. As I say, it probably wouldn't be my first choice to have a clear barrel, but I actually quite like it with the bigger converter, so I don't mind that. What I would like is if this was actually a blind cap. So if you could just unscrew this and operate the converter from there, especially with the transparent barrel, that would be really good because then you can just fill the ink up without having to unscrew it. You just use the blind cap. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. Obviously, there's a bit of extra cost maybe involved in doing that and making sure it's not just flimsy and going to come off willy-nilly. But I mean, look, it's a £10 pen and you're getting a lot for £10. You're getting the big converter, you're getting the big nib. It seems well put together. I've not got any rattle anywhere on this. It's kind of the quality that you would expect from the modern day Jinhao big pen series, I suppose. I will say this cap's quite heavy. I can feel it in my hand. I let's do it now. I haven't weighed them up or anything. So I'll put all this down below. So the cap is 16 grams. And the rest of the pen, that's clever. The rest of the pen is 17.2 grams. So the cap is nearly as heavy as the whole pen with ink in it. So yeah, there's obviously you've got the metal here. That this is like solid metal. There's a bit of metal in that cap. So the cap's nearly as heavy as the pen. So it will post. Zoom this out a little bit. It will post, but that's a wand. It's also a very back-weighted wand because you're putting pretty much the whole weight of the pen again on the back. So it does post, but I wouldn't want to. Well, I wouldn't anyway, but especially not for that reason. But Unpost is very comfortable in the hand. It's got that usual Jinhao section, which is modelled heavily on a Mont Blanc. Yeah, sits well in the hand. I actually really like it. I mean, like this, that's just a nice demonstrator pen with your opaque finial and section, or blind cap and section, I should say. The characters in the cap, really. So yeah, it's a bit flashy maybe, but interesting. You're going to get someone ask you what you're writing with, that's for sure. But yeah, I like it. Hopefully that these might come out in different colours, with or without the cap furniture. Don't know. But yeah, let's see. If nothing else, it's something a bit different from Jinhao, and it's well made and it's good value, and it writes very, very well. So I'm gonna take this away and enjoy it a little bit more. Look after yourselves. Be kind to one another. Take it easy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.